For today's episode, I am still talking about optimization. I am so hung up on this, but it is because, in my opinion, the wellness industry has totally hijacked this word because somehow it turned into trackers and lab results and all these numbers and spending a whole bunch of money. And all of it, quite honestly, can just have the end result of making you feel mildly anxious about your body. Because when you have all these numbers and they may or may not say what you want them to say, it can be really anxiety inducing. Like, what's wrong with me? How do I fix it? Am I going to be okay? All that stuff. But I want to argue today, anyways, that optimization, while it's buzzwordy in the health and wellness space, that it's actually a word that should belong to you. Because so far, or at least for the last long while, decade, even more probably, optimization is sold as these numbers, metrics, dashboards, data. It's like putting you as a person onto a metrics dashboard, and it has your blood pressure and your VO2 max, your HRV is in there, some recovery scores, and every technology has its own proprietary score. So they're not even comparable or transferable when you get a different app or a device. And all of those things in theory are fine. I use some of them, so I'm not totally against them. However, I want you today to stop and ask yourself, what's it all for? What am I measuring all of this for? Like, what's the point? Because to me, the optimization shouldn't be about these abstract stats that don't actually have meaning to your life. Instead, I would hope that we can get to a point where we're optimizing for function and energy, capability and freedom, and living life with fewer limitations on your own terms. And I understand that numbers are kind of a way to put a value on those things, but they're still not actually measuring those things, because optimization should make your life feel better and fuller. It shouldn't just make it needlessly more complicated with more stuff to keep track of. We all have enough stuff to keep track of, I promise. So for some women, optimization might look like your ability to ride bikes with your kids on the weekends, or kick a soccer ball around with them without tripping over your own feet, or like whiffing and ending up ass over tea kettle. Maybe that's your version of optimization. Or maybe it's just waking up in the morning with some energy and not feeling like a caffeine fueled zombie who's mad at the world until that first sip of coffee. That's okay too. And for a lot of other women that I've worked with, it is where you feel confident and strong and sexy and comfortable in your own skin. Like for me, for example, it's being able to carry the water jug 50 yards to the orchard, or being able to garden for an hour or two and not feel like one of those bent over, shriveled up crones for the next couple of days. That really is goals of mine. I loathe that feeling. And so I want to optimize so I don't feel that. And all of these different ways of optimizing for real life are valid. And in my opinion, that's what optimization really should be. Because otherwise, if you're just optimizing for the sake of it and you don't actually define what you're optimizing for, you're chasing random goals that may or may not even matter in your life. And you're chasing numbers that probably don't even motivate you. Like, if improving your HRV or your VO2 max doesn't motivate you, why are you tracking it? Why are you optimizing for it? Track the other things that, yeah, maybe a result of those numbers improving. But if they're not meaningful to you, it's a fast track to burning out. Because again, it's just so much more information overload, so much more stuff to do. We don't need that. It's 2026. Let's simplify a little bit. So when you define what you're optimizing for, your progress, it becomes clearer. Sometimes it even becomes easier to track because it's stuff you do every day. Like, instead of optimizing your VO2 max, which might get measured every once in a while, you could track stuff you do every day. And your habits, these changes that you're making, they feel more purposeful. Like, you actually know why you're changing these things. And it becomes internally motivating instead of external. Instead of trying to motivate yourself with these external numbers, you feel good about what you're doing because you know why and all the things. So once you know what you're optimizing for, it's easier to know what actually matters in terms of the changes that you're making. So those numbers, all the fancy trackers and gadgets and gizmos, they can support the process, but it shouldn't be the point of the process. So you can ask yourself, does this help me live better? Does this help me be more capable with the things I want to do in my life? And does it help me do the things I actually care about in my life? So optimizing those numbers without a real life goal attached is just data collection. And I mean, unless you're a really big nerd, and I'm a nerd, but I don't know if I'm a really big nerd, who's got time for that? Who wants to just collect data just to say they collect data? You want it to mean something. So I would prefer that you optimize to do cool shit in your life and just live on your own terms and do the things you want to do. So that's my challenge for you this week with this episode or today. You can do it today, but at some point this week, I want you to really think about what am I actually optimizing for? Or kind of put another way, what do I want my body and energy to allow me to do? And then once you come up with those answers, you build habits around being able to do those things that support you being able to do those things. So that's today's daily bit of fit. Take it and run or walk or stretch. Just go move. That's it for today's daily bit of fit. I'm Coach Mack from Running with Bacon, reminding you that small steps really do add up. Make sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss a bit. And if today's episode hit home, send it to a friend who might need it too. And if you ever want a quick pep talk tailored just for you, DM me on Instagram because I'm always happy to send some encouragement your way. You can find more support and my health coaching resources at runningwithbacon.com or come hang with me on Instagram for some healthy fun. Until next time, keep taking those small steps because you don't need a perfect plan, just a consistent one.